That's James's bread bowl full of cream of mushroom soup, and it has this in it for protein. So I was talking about how I could stir in lots and lots of the bone broth into his soup, and it has soybean paste and it has a lot of fat. So let's take a look-see it. Here's the nutritional information on that. I am having the most wonderful smoothie. I love this smoothie. I'll talk about this recipe in a minute. It's colored pink from a little tiny bit of beet juice. It doesn't take much to make it that beautiful pink color. And it has rose water in it. So it smells good, it tastes good. And that's James's Emerald City Smoothie. And I'm having some mushroom soup. It isn't as fancy as James's, but it's very fattening. So James has a bunch of books he's going to talk about today, and it looks like Sue Grafton got pole position somehow.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's definitely not top.
Okay.
Tops.
So I'm going to put this like this, and just make sure you don't lean that way, because I'll have a hard time. Anyway, this is my outfit for today. It's a beautiful Indian outfit, and when I got it, I thought, I'm gonna have to move this. Speaking of mosquito netting, you can see I put up the mosquito net around I put up the umbrella, and then I had this mosquito net to hang on the umbrella, and believe me, that was some job putting that up. But I wanted, not just for the mosquitoes, because the mosquitoes are bad in Lethbridge right now, but I knew I was going to be serving mushroom soup, and remember how the flies were going after James's mushrooms before? Didn't want that. So I put up the net. I hope it helps. We'll see if it does.
I see a little bee.
I know, it got trapped in here, and it's all frantic. Oh, we did.
I'm just seeing it's
on the outside. Yeah, he was in for a while. I'm maybe when I was opening the thing up to put. Anyway, what I'm holding here. So this is a citronella plant, and it's a kind of geranium. So it says herb, citronella. But anyway, it's I got this year. I'm just going to move that out of the way.
Excuse me. Yeah. Wow.
It'll be blocking the view of me. These chairs are really hard to sit in.
Well,
they just kind of suck me.
Because you scrunched them. When I was sitting down here, this actually got caught in my pocket. It was so scrunched up.
Yeah, well,
You had to scrunch up to fit everything.
I did. I had to scrunch us
up.
I can try to move me over.
No, I'm okay.
No.
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, then it's great. Okay,
James,
is great. Sometimes.
This outfit, James had to do me up, because in the back it's all, well, you can see there's some like ties and stuff and whatever. It's not made for somebody to dress themselves in.
Hook and, what do they call those? Hook and eyes? Eye and hooks.
Eye hooks, yeah. You're right, that's exactly what they're called.
I almost said hook and ladder, but I think that's a fire engine.
So good.
Okay, so
what this is, so delicious. It is inspired by gulab jamun, which is the best dessert in the world. It's a wonderful Indian dessert. So, baklava is great. I prefer gulab jamun, but
that's
my dad's favorite Indian was baklava.
Indian culture, right? They're wearing an Indian costume.
Yeah.
And is this one you got on the west side?
What?
Is this one you got on the west side? Remember when that lovely...
No, it is not. This one...
I didn't recognize it as
I was very sad when I got this one, because it was... I saw it. It was so beautiful. And it was in the women's section and small, and I thought, well, I'm pretty small. And so I got it. And it was way too small, and I was like, this has got to be for kids. This is like some Indian child bride's wedding dress or something like that. But no, here I am now this size, and yes, I fit it. So it
Pauline
is.
didn't get it new,
No.
obviously.
I got it from the MCC, and I think I paid, oh, they gave it to me half price because it was Halloween at the time, and they thought this was Halloween. So,
oh, well, that's kind of cute.
Yeah, it is
I
cute.
like MCC.
and
They
I guess
do
for some
actually
people it might be.
run a charity. I've benefited from their charity. And
Yeah.
all that sort of
So
They're about
it
the
was,
best of the
I like.
used
I like.
religious stores. Better than the Bibles for Missions, better than the Salvation Army.
So my
And,
protein
Catholic charities too.
is in here. It's brown rice protein flour, and so that helps whiten the beet juice so that it's less purple and more pink, and it just works out perfectly. It works this beautiful. It's the same color as me. It's this dress. It works out a beautiful color. So, and it's very simple to make. All you do is you juice enough beet juice so that you have a container in the fridge so you can use it for a few days, right? And you'll want to just keep making lots of these because they're so delicious. And there's no fat in this whatsoever. But you could put some in if you want. But I'd rather have my fat in mushroom soup. You put in some beet juice, just a little bit. You put in mostly water, so like, say, here, water. And then you put in your serving of well, it depends. You don't have to put that much water if you're going to put some psyllium in too. So, depending on when you drink this, what time of day, or whatever, anyway. So, you put your water in, you put your brown rice protein flour in, and that's basically no carbs almost with that. And basically no carbs in this besides the beet juice, but there's so little beet juice. So basically no carbs in this, no fat, but lots of healthy and lots of tasty yum. So then you put some cardamom, ground and ground cinnamon, and a little bit of rose water, and you bullet it up, blend it, and there you go. Then you have it. It's wonderful. You try and see if you think wonderful too. Oh, I put a little stevia in it too.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, he might not find it sweet enough because I don't like things as sweet as he does.
Not nearly.
Yeah, so there you go. But I'll move this closer to you.
Okay.
And yeah, this works. The flies are not coming. Like, I can see them outside. They're on the net, and they haven't figured it out yet.
They haven't figured it out, and
but
hopefully they don't.
This doesn't go down to the ground.
Thank heavens.
And honestly, I couldn't really do anything about that. Like, it took a lot of strength for me to get this umbrella up. Even with, like, I had to put the net up on, with it down, with the umbrella down, and then cinch it up. And then, I could have made it so that it went down to the ground somehow. Oh, some flies have gotten in. But, anyway, it took them a while to figure it out. And, so then it might go down the ground if I could have. But honestly, it was very hard for me to get this up, and I don't know how. I don't know how often we're going to have this thing up or whatever, but that's that. So, James is now going to, I guess I don't have to describe how to make, surely you know how to make cream of mushroom soup. So, I basically use just the broth. I skimmed off, so I sauteed some mushrooms in a pan with some garlic this morning, and then I mixed in some sage. So, and so I mixed, anyway, and then while I was putting the mushrooms in a container, I kind of squeezed it down, so the mushroom juice came out, and I had as much juice as possible. So then I put that in a jar, and then I put some more water and the cream cheese. That's it. That's what this is. Oh, and the miso. So this is very simple. Now you can go ahead and talk about Sue Grafton.
Okay, so I'm going to hit the ground crawling. That sort of stuff. So.
Okay, I'll move this out of the way. Maybe people might see you better.
You just leave it there.
It's fine.
So, I can remember when Sue Grafton started this well within my lifetime, and it took me 20. This is I think the 21st in the series for me to actually get through. I might have started 2 of them and got through 10 pages. And what is this? It's 400 pages, I think. A little over 400 pages, roughly 400 pages. And it should have been cut down to 200. Sue, it's probably too late for you. But if you're starting off like with through the alphabet again, like AA instead of A, cut your stuff down. You can cut out a lot of stuff about food, a lot of stuff about how people are dressed, a lot of stuff about decor and so on and so forth. It's kind of like watching. Remember when we watched Home and Gardens TV and the Ricardo, the cook stuff, and so on and so forth. Now that's wonderful, but it doesn't belong in a detective novel, or so I think. Just tell the story. Don't be dressing it up with extraneous detail. Literally dressing it up in many cases. So that's for you, Sue Grafton. Are you taking notes? Is it Sue? Sue Grafton. Lily. Sue means Lily.
This is the best mushroom soup I've ever had. You have to try it.
Well, letting it cool down. Now I gotta be yapping. So
I can talk for a minute. You gotta try it. So delicious.
okay.
So what I did with James's soup is I put some of the mushrooms from that I'd sauteed in his soup, and I sauteed some onions. So his is going to be a little bit different, and the bone broth a little bit different than mine. But basically, what do you think?
Pretty good.
Well, anyway, I think it's delicious. But I haven't had mushroom.
Well, it's a little bit different. It's got bone broth.
Well, that doesn't taste like anything.
Well, it actually maybe does. I don't know. Anyway,
It tastes delicious.
Sue Grafton. So what was I going to say? This is a little bit. It's more like an adventure thing, a thriller. I'm not good at figuring these things out. I just get lost in the detective novels like Agatha Christie or Marjorie Allingham, or Nio Marsh, Ngaio Marsh. I think you're supposed to say something like Nio, but I'm not good at figuring those things out. But I had this thing figured out pretty well from the start or whenever. So who was it? Dorothy L. Sayers kind of said, well, I don't write mysteries to fool people. I'm saying, yeah, I know, because I don't seem to be capable of it. Maybe that applies to Sue Grafton. I don't know. Definitely not on par or even close to Agatha Christie or Marjorie Allingham. Nio Marsh. I've only read one Nio Marsh that was actually reasonably good. It was called Died in the World. I even remember the title after decades. But never was motivated to read any more of her stuff. So, and, it doesn't rate there with Arthur Conan Doyle, the guy who wrote the Sherlock Holmes things.
Yeah, if it doesn't take some skill to figure it out, then it's not a mystery.
No, this should be thought of as a detective thriller or something like that. Because, if I can figure it out, folks, it's not worth it. As a mystery story.
Okay.
It's not up there with Edgar Allan Poe. Okay. That's a mystery. Well, I just deal with this. This is the second time I've read this, and it's kind of creepy material. But when people write a
He's holding
story,
up Lolita.
What was that? Oh, that's
They might
right.
not be able
Lolita.
to see the title.
By Vladimir. No, is it Vladimir? Nabokov. I think you can say Nabokov, but who cares? Anyway, but you know, writing a story about serial killers is gruesome and so on and so forth. I keep on reading this thing. Well, it's a second time. I'm not sure if I'll be motivated a third time because he's supposed to be a great stylist. He actually wrote published novels, not published in his lifetime, or in the Soviet Union during the communist regime. Maybe it was his lifetime. But, in Russian, weirdly enough. That's his native language. But he's supposed to be a great English stylist too. So that's not too unusual because Joseph Conrad was a native Polish speaker. And I think he was something like an adult when he started writing English novels. And he's supposed to be a great novelist. I don't know about a stylist or anything like that. I can think of any number of novelists nowadays that he was better than. Margaret Atwood. Joseph Conrad. So, Margaret Atwood, you're still alive. Get on the stick and improve your shtick. How's that? Get on the stick and improve your shtick.
Yeah, I don't know. I stopped reading Margaret Atwood. I'm reading a book now because we're going to be
You had read
talking
it
about
before, though,
I
hadn't you?
think so,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I definitely watched the movie and the series. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'd stopped years ago. I'd read quite a few of her books. And then I thought, oh, well, I used to really like reading her stuff, and so I got out something recent. It was some sort of sci-fi or something
Oh, that's the death
weird.
of...
Like, I don't know what she was thinking with that one, but she was doing
She's not the
something
only
different.
one to do that. There was it's not Iris Murdoch, but Doris Lessing. She was a novelist. I read her first novel.
It was dreadful.
And she wrote sci-fi. Let me just finish the thing.
Okay.
She wrote sci-fi, and she just went off on a weird tangent. Her first novel, best novel, is actually set in Rhodesia. I was born in northern Rhodesia and stuff like that. It's called The Grass is Singing. See, I even remember it. I read it the year I turned 20. So yeah, it's over 50 years ago. And I even remember the title. But you know, I tried reading her sci-fi novels. I didn't even get 10 pages through any of them. Maybe it was only 2 that I tried. But yeah, if you're a regular novelist, don't do sci-fi, for Pete's sake.
I don't know.
Maybe it's
what
hard
she
to
was
write.
thinking. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't really. It seemed sort of sci-fi to me.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't meant to be.
Well, I think she got this reputation of writing these cautionary tales. I mean, is Brave New World really sci-fi?
Oh, I guess that's right. And I guess if you think about it, The Handmaid's
really,
Tale, but
sci-fi.
I don't know. Anyway, so I was going to say, just based on more recent work from Margaret Atwood, I don't think she should keep writing. Because
I think people should keep on doing what they do until they die.
Okay.
You know, unless they
keep doing it, but maybe put it out free as a blog.
Yeah, maybe or something. But what I believe in is improving.
Maybe they'll like that.
You started writing poetry when you were...
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm
45 or
really
something.
improving anymore. You think I am?
I think so.
Okay.
So, okay.
I'll keep doing it then.
And you started improving after age 45 because you're starting basically from 0 or something like that.
I guess I'm throwing out a lot of my old stuff and rewriting it.
Hopefully you're not throwing it out, but just rewriting it.
I am.
Why?
Well, it's bad.
No, you never throw that stuff out.
Okay.
I don't throw my junky stuff out. I was writing junky stuff even when I was writing what other people call great stuff. And what I recognize as great stuff.
Okay. I'll keep it around
you
for
always
you.
write junky stuff. Yeah. It's just that way. Anyway, what was I going to say? I was going to try to finish up some of these reviews. They've been piling up and piling up. So, how long have we got? 5 minutes?
I don't know. You have 10. 9 minutes.
I was anyway, intermediate Russian reader. Look at that. Nice, calmy red.
Yep, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And it might have been put out 1960. Let me just check and see. Originally 1945, but this edition is 1958. So, but yeah, so it would have been put out at the beginning of the Cold War, oh, maybe even before it, end of World War II. Intermediate Russian readers. So you're actually reading Russian literature. And intermediate. So the trouble with reading literature is if you haven't got a background in the language, you're not going to be able to read it, because the vocabulary is going, and the grammar is going to be a little bit tough, syntax is going to be tough too, but you just won't have the vocabulary. So I've gotten to the point where I can go through this stuff and so on and so forth. So it starts with Pushkin, both the short stories and the poetry. So it has short stories, it has poetry, and it ends basically with, I think it's 3 plays or stuff like that. And so they've got some short stories by Anton Chekhov, and 1 play by Anton Chekhov. For some reason or other, they have 2 plays by a guy called Yaltsev. And I don't know, never heard of the type. 1 story by Pushkin. How many plays by Chekhov? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or not plays, short stories. 1, 2, 3.
I should show people what you do to your books, because it's interesting. Maybe people would like to see this. So he goes through, and I don't know if you can see, he writes very faintly, but he has written in, that's how he teaches himself.
That's
language.
what I do with language
Yeah,
readers
so it's
and
all,
stuff like that.
yeah.
Of course, grammars, it's a different kind of thing, but I will mark them up. I mean, this thing
So as he goes, he...
might not be much use for anyone else, like after I die.
No,
or whatever,
because you've already written out everything out.
Well, that would be better for them.
Maybe it would be.
People love interlinears. So
what are you?
I'll put in everything. Nikto, no one. So ni is no, to is who or what, right? In this context, it means one. So.
But this one's English. You read this in the English.
Yeah, it's English.
Yeah.
He wrote in English. That's why I read that stuff, because it's supposed to be a great stylist.
Okay.
And so sometimes they compare him with Joyce.
They're getting better.
Sometimes he gets compared with Joyce, and I'm going, that's why I reread that. And I'm going, am I missing something? No. He tries puns and stuff like that. It just doesn't work. So, yeah, I got to give him credit for trying, but how do you keep up with Joyce if it's your second language,
Yeah.
Anyway, this thing is quite good. There are a few mistakes. It actually has a vocabulary. Do they call it a glossary or vocabulary? In the back, a vocabulary. Slovarsh, which is their word for dictionary, Russian. I probably put the accent on the wrong thing, on the wrong syllable. Russian is the accent is unpredictable in the same way as in English. So.
Oh, so you could actually, if you were an English speaker, you could go through this.
Okay, there's always the syntax and the grammar.
Okay.
Okay, because you get a word, these words are going to change. The endings are going to change depending on the way they're used in the sentence. So we tell how words are used in the sentence by their position in English. And in French, it's basically the same way. German, less so. Latin, I know lots of vocabulary in Latin. When I sat down with the Vulgata, I thought, oh, right. I've got a huge Latin vocabulary and I'm lost. In Genesis, chapter 1. And I know what it is.
Yeah.
But the words are all in the wrong order. Well, in Russian, it's largely the same way. So then you start looking at the endings. And, like we have object, subject, right? Yeah. Subject is basically the doer. The object is the thing that gets done, the doer does something to.
Yeah.
But you see, in Russian, I think there's like instrumental, like something you do something with. So it takes the place of prepositions, but it'll be an ending on the end of the word, right? And do they have the locative? So again, it's like a preposition, in or at or where or whatever. It's really annoying. Of course, I should just say, oh, they're like postposition. But the big trouble is the endings get it's hard to explain. Then the tenses are a little bit hard to understand. You know, like it's more an aspect, like is a something finished, so on and so forth. There, like English, words get slurred all over the place, like the sounds. So you get a G sound,
Yeah.
G. If you put stuff behind it, it can be J. Yeah. Of course, English is bad for that too. But a K sound can be turn out to be well, let's say SK or ST sound can be SHCH sound. Okay, so you just got to be ready for that. So it's just knowing these things and looking them up, not necessarily going to help you. Right? You have to know grammar in order to, that person I was trying to teach Arabic to, and also Spanish to. She thought she knew French well enough that she didn't want to deal with French poetry. She would have been hopeless in it. Absolutely hopeless in Spanish, absolutely hopeless in Arabic. She thought it was about vocabulary. So she's the one that was saying, like we already know, like it's easy to pick up a whole bunch of languages because they're all related, and she didn't understand. You have to know French grammar, even though you might know all the words, or most of the words. You didn't understand, clueless. And she was about 65 when she was saying that. 60, or yes, more like 60. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to start talking about Kennedy again.
Okay.
So, have I got 3 minutes, 2 minutes? I think
I don't know. You have 1 minute and 23 seconds.
That's in 2 minutes. Anyway, that intermediate, I was going to say, the vocabulary, the grammar has things out of order. Not in alphabetical order, enough to be kind of annoying, and so on and so forth. They're not going to come out with a new edition, unfortunately, because it's actually quite valuable. Right? I haven't gone through all of that stuff. When I go through and have every word written in, then I'll consider that as having gone through it twice. But it'll really be the equivalent of going through it 3 times. Anyway, this thing, does it have pictures? I think it does have pictures. Doesn't it have? Yes, it has.
You've talked about that one a lot.
Yeah, I'm talking about it in comparison. So we can see Marina Oswald. She never smiled. Apparently she had horrible Russian teeth. So it's kind of a shame because I don't know if she had a smiling personality. So you can see she was young, and how someone, Ruby said he looked like Paul Newman. They call him handsome. He's okay looking, a little short on chin, and eventually getting short on hair and stuff like that. But does it show some of the people he was hanging with? There's poor